I ran out of steam a bit. I thought I can go straight through, but needed a little break. Before I start, I want to apologize. I forgot Stevie's draft grade and his playoff prediction. I had Stevie's draft grade as an 82 and no with an asterisk next to it because I do think Stevie's team is good enough to make the playoffs. However, his track record as a manager, he tends to kind of fade away, not give as much effort as required, and I want to see more. So right now, I'm going to give it a no, and I hope he proves me wrong and is more active this year. Okay, so sixth team, we have Louis Rumham. Let's check out Louis' team. Louis got a draft grade of 84 and playoffs. Yes, Louis always in the playoffs. He doesn't give up. He's relentless. So let's take a look. Justin Herbert, Matt Ryan. I like it. Mac Jones, strong QB3. Looks good. Saquon, Leonard Fournette. Not my guys. I avoid these guys, but that's just my opinion. These are strong RB choices. People draft them in the second round. Saquon says he's proven the doubters wrong this year. I hope he has a great year. So we got Saquon, Leonard Fournette, Dameon Pierce, hot rookie running back this year. And then I don't know if he took him in the fourth round or I think he took him in the fourth round or the fifth. But anyways, Ezekiel Elliott. I didn't like this pick. Let's look at the draft recap. Louis went from him. Herbert, Saquon, Leonard Fournette. He did take Zeke in the fourth round. So Herbert, you have your two running backs. I understand wanting to grab an RB3. I just think this team, if he had taken Michael Pittman, A.J. Brown, Mark Andrews, Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, and had Saquon, Leonard Fournette, Dameon Pierce as his three backs, and like A.J. Brown, Allen Robinson as his 1-2, or even Mark Andrews, this team would be dangerous. I just don't think Zeke was worth that price. But anyways, I mean, it's Ezekiel Elliott. I hope he bounces back. If he doesn't get hurt, he's got a floor for yards and touchdowns. And I don't hate the wide receivers. Let's see, we got Allen Robinson. I think he has a good year. I think he's 29 too. I don't know what was going on in Chicago last year. I'm assuming it was Fields. I don't know why he didn't have better numbers. Rashad Bateman, you got to think he's the number one in Baltimore. I don't trust it. Julio Jones, don't trust it here. So wide receiver is obviously the weak point. Hockenson, I don't mind. Let's say Bateman and Jones don't work out. Jacoby Myers, Isaiah McKenzie, Alec Pierce. You can get by. I don't mind having wide receiver as your weak point because I think it's the deepest position in the league you can fill in. And you can always trade one of these running backs for a piece. So I think he's fine. As far as upside players, Alec Pierce, Isaiah McKenzie. I would like to see like a flyer running back on the bench, but Melvin Gordon is you could plug him in. He's probably going to get a good amount of touches. So this team is solid. Not obviously, like I said, it's not the guys I target. I don't target Barkley, Fournette, or Zeke, but I mean this team could compete. And I love Herbert. Matt Ryan gets drafted after, I don't know if I can find him quick. He gets drafted after some questionable quarterbacks, and I'm not sure why. I don't know his numbers that well, but I think Matt Ryan in Indy could be a strong QB2. So, Louis, solid team. I think he's going to make the playoffs. Got him as the sixth team. Okay, number 5. Historically, great manager. Knows his stuff, and the top 5 was even harder. I mean, I scribbled out the grade 4 times. And I finally landed on a grade of 87 for Apotria. And playoffs, yes. This team is balanced and solid. Oh, let's go to it. Yeah, Apotria always in the mix. Let's see. Wrote this team is balanced and solid. A lot of safe picks. The X factors will be Dobbins, Baker to DJ Moore, that connection. Mike Williams, if he could stay healthy. Deontay Johnson. He's like one of those guys where it's like, Deontay Johnson because he's got Trubisky, but he's a great player. So, I mean, if he gets that work, him in the flex is scary. Kareem Hunt, I have him on my team, I feel like every year. He's just like a solid RB2 flex guy. Let's break it down. Brady, I mean, I think he was the QB1 last year with Baker. I had Baker last year. I hated him. I thought he couldn't hit anything. But I'm assuming he was hurt. He's got weapons. Let's see what he could do. If not, he's got Wentz. So that's fine. Running backs, Derrick Henry. I wanted Derrick Henry this year because I think he was on pace for like almost 2,000 yards last year. I think he's a different breed. People that say, shy away from him. He's an exception to the rule, Derrick Henry. And then J.K. Dobbins, I said in the draft recap, I like the gamble on Dobbins. He's a guy that's hungry to play. He's got the talent. If he hits top 10. Plus, he's got Hunt that's safe. Tyler Algier, you never know. He may get the job. Boston Scott. You know, he's right there. Wide receiver, CeeDee Lamb. Safe, good, clear number 1. DJ Moore. People love DJ Moore. He's just a guy that figures it out. He's like a poor man's Keenan Allen. But, like, I mean, DJ Moore finds a way to be, like, top 10 to 15 somehow. So I think he'll be great. Then Mike Williams was inconsistent, but for your wide receiver 3, he's a guy that could go for 20, 25, 30. And these are the guys that I like. That over consistency, it's the explosive guys like the Tyreek Hills, the Kyler Murrays, the Mike Williams that just erupt and win you the week. And he's got that with Williams, Henry, Brady. And it's just a balanced team. When you see a team from QB all the way down with guys that you don't have to worry about them getting work, those are teams that compete. And then couple that with a QB3 and then Sky Moore, Nico Collins, Wan'Dale Robinson. You got to think one of these guys are going to hit. Love Sky Moore. Nico Collins, they say he's a freak. I think Davis Mills is going to have a better year. That's why I drafted him. And then imagine if Brian Robinson, if that didn't happen. If he had Brian Robinson, who was taking the job pretty much, then this team, I would probably have to rank him higher. And then Jamison Williams, they say he's the best wide receiver talent in the draft. So, I mean, you can make a case that this team should be higher, but I think he did an excellent job. This is a strategy that I would have went with. Freiermuth, late tight end with upside. I think he did a good job. Anything else? No. Overall, great draft. Let's see. Number 4. This may surprise some people because he's a huge asshole, and I wanted to rank him lower, but like I said, we're unbiased here. We're going to go Inglorious Staffords with Casp. Similar to Stevie, I thought Casp had a great draft, who I didn't think did any research, because he's playing the craps and getting tattoos and drinking, taking champagne baths. But I guess in between all that, he was doing his research. So happy to see that. Let's see, anything stick out here with the notes. Oh, draft grade gave him an 88. And to really stick it to him for a playoff prediction, I said no, because I want to see him put the effort in year-long, pickups, trades, whatnot. But roster breakdown, Stafford, Jameis. he took these guys back to back. I like banging out your 1-2 quarterbacks, getting them out of the way. I'm guessing he was high on Jameis. I think he took Stafford in the 6th. Matt Stafford in the 5th. Jameis in the 6th. I don't hate it. I think Jameis in New Orleans could just be great and just 20 point, just bang him out week by week. He's got that potential, and then he'll throw like really dumb picks. But I hopefully that's in the past after his eye surgery. But I'm rooting for Jameis. Jacoby Brissett, he's got a QB3, and then he's got Geno Smith. So that's something I like to do, is get 4 QBs on the team. I only got 3. So this is something I like just in case. RBs, I love. I think people were way too low on Nick Chubb this year. I just think talent-wise, obviously one of the best running backs in the league. And they're going to start running very often, especially with Brissett. Where did he get Chubb? Don't tell me he got him in the 3rd. I think he did. Yeah. Great value. Yeah, Nick Chubb in the 3rd, great value. I said Stephon Diggs was the steal of the 2nd round. You got Keenan Allen late. Hunter Renfrow caught for 1,000 yards, bunch of touchdowns. Value everywhere. Dalvin Cook easily can finish number 1 back. Catches passes. Schultz, I think I said that was the worst pick in the round during the recap. But now that I'm looking at this team, I like the way Schultz balances it out. I had him last year. They always target him. I think he's just going to score a lot. And then moving over to the flex, I don't know how Jalen Hurts is going to do it with A.J. Brown, Smith, Goddard, Sanders, Kenny Gainwell. But Smith was someone I was looking as a year 2 receiver. Loved him in Bama. We see these year 2 receivers pop. I don't know how Hurts is going to do it, but I can see Smith just erupting. And this is great value for Flex 1 because he's got the talent. Maybe A.J. Brown take some pressure off him. Really like that pick. And then Cordell Patterson, he may fade away as the year goes on. I don't know how they're going to use him because he's old, but I could see him just playing receiver, playing running back, scoring points. As a Flex 2, I'm confident with him there. So really balanced, like I said before. And then DJ Chark, I've had him before. I've drafted him high before. The talent's there. I mean, he can come out of nowhere in Detroit. Kenny Galladay. I know I was talking shit about him last video, but I mean, if he comes back to life, then he's got options all over the place. Isaiah Spiller, who knows? Projected for 0. I don't know if he got cut or something. I doubt it. It doesn't matter. How do I get out of here? And then the last 2, he's gonna have to. Oh, Mecole Hardman, I like. Fast guy, and then Ronald Jones. Hey, I mean, it's a deep balanced team. And if I'm facing this team, I'm like, shit, it can go either way. I think he did a good job. What was his grade? I said his grade, 88 and no. So, moving into the top 3. Let's see. And I don't want to stroke my team too much, so I'll try to fly through it. So that just gives it away. I put my team as the 3rd. I was obviously very pleased with my draft. Cousins and Tua, safe QBs. I caught some shit for Tua, but I think with Hill, Waddle, Edmonds, I just think he has way too many weapons to not be safe as a QB2. If not, I took Mills, who I think is going to have a good year. Running backs, DeAndre Swift, Aaron Jones could explode. And then RB3, I took some shit for Sanders too, but for RB3 in the 7th round, with that offensive line, I mean, even if Sanders rushes for 800 yards, catches for 400 yards, gets a few touchdowns, with the upside, I mean, it's worth the gamble. I don't mind. And then Nyheim Hines, I think, is safe to plug in. And then I'm hoping maybe Rachaad White takes the job. Receivers, I think it is one of my stronger points. I took Chase in the first. A.J. Brown fell to the fourth somehow. Obviously, Elijah Moore, great talent. We'll see if Flacco Wilson can get him the ball. I'm hoping he explodes, but I won't be surprised if it goes either way. If not, Ayuk, hoping he takes a step further. They said he looks great. And then if these guys don't work out, I really don't mind plugging in Robert Woods, Nyheim Hines, KJ Osborne right away. And then kind of wait on Shepard to come back, Dubs to come back, White to come along. I just think that this is really deep. Cole Kmet is coming up in everybody's rankings. I guess Fields likes him. Overall, really pleased, really deep, and I think I got some guys that could explode, and I think I'll compete. What did I give myself for a grade? It's weird grading your own team. Gave myself a 92, and of course I'm going to make the playoffs, but knock on wood. Okay, top two. So we got the four-time champ as the third. We have the regular season champ for last year as the number two. Where is he? Team Goat Gods. Dino really coming along as a fantasy threat. I mean, he just cruised last year. I don't know what his record was, but it seemed like he was in first place the entire year. I gave Dino a 92 too. I gave him the playoffs. Yes. What did I write for this team? Explosive team with Scary Terry, Debo, McCaffrey, Waddle, tight end Waller. He's got back to practice. He's got sleepers. He's got QB3. And this is what I'm talking about when I say there's good teams, there's balanced teams, but the teams that win seem to be the ones that gamble a little bit and hit on guys, and then they just have great players that can explode, like McCaffrey, Debo, Scary Terry. People were low on Waddle this year. I mean, he had a great year last year. I don't see why he can't have another great year. He's a great talent. I think Tua could make two receivers fantasy relevant. I don't see why not. So he's got Dak, Tannehill. He got Tannehill late. Safe QBs, rock solid. I wish he had a third quarterback. I don't know. Should have grabbed Flacco or somebody, but rock solid QBs, running backs, McCaffrey. I think McCaffrey would be fine this year. I was telling everybody I have no problem taking him 1 or 2 overall. Gibson seems like he lucked out, unfortunately, but he's going to get a full workload. That could be a great RB2. He's got David Montgomery. I think the Bears are gross. They say the line's bad, but he runs hard. He catches passes. I think for RB3, that's a good RB3. Plus James Robinson. I think him and Etienne are going to get a good workload. So he's got another running back here. I wish I had Mostert on my team. I feel like he's dangerous. Then he's got Chuba Hubbard as a handcuff. Dearness Johnson, when he plays, he plays well. So running back is deep. And then receiver. I mean, Debo is just dangerous. He runs, catches. I think he'll have a great year. Scary Terry, he's the top receiver talent in the league, obviously. I mean, and Wentz made Pittman, fantasy relevant. So I don't see why he can't make Terry a top guy. Jalen Waddle as your wide receiver 3. He could easily erupt. And then Darren Waller, I think he's gonna have a better year. I think I had him last year. Started out hot, kind of faded away. I think he'll be more consistent this year. Then Adam Thielen's another sneaky guy. He's older, but I think he's going to catch touchdowns if he stays healthy. He's just rock solid at flex 2. Right away, if you got to plug somebody in, I guess you could put Jones in or Mostert. But I put this team 2 because it's balanced, it's deep, and it could erupt. It's really dangerous. And I gotta show the regular season champ from last year some fucking respect. Okay, you gotta give respect to get respect. So Team Goat God's number 2, and without further ado, and not because he's the reigning champ, and his team was fucking nasty last year. I think he has the best team to start the year again, and that's the Succession with Ren. Let's see. Grade 95, playoff, yes. Initial notes: very balanced, safe, deep, young with exclamation points. The running backs are good floor with upside. Wide receivers, he's got a hero wide receiver with breakout and opportunity. He's got a rock-solid tight end. I think he has a better year. Obviously, Kittle, I mean, we used to draft him really early. His bench, I like with lottery tickets. He's got starters on his bench, and he's deep. So, quarterbacks, Joe Burrow, Derek Carr, as solid as you're going to get. I think Carr has a better year. Burrow has a better year. Damian Harris, I almost drafted him. Where did Rem get Damian Harris? Really quick. The Succession took Chase Edmonds. Then Lazard. Damian Harris in the 9th. And I'm pretty sure I wanted to take him in like the 7th or the 8th because I was looking at RB3s and I'm looking at double-digit touchdowns. The Patriots are a run-heavy offense. I mean, how could you go wrong with Damian Harris? So Javonte Williams is his number 1. I mean, you can make they're a coin toss. He could erupt or Swift, so they're interchangeable. I think he has a great year, so that's his RB1. Chase Edmonds is his RB2. People love him in Miami. I got to see it to believe it, but I'm optimistic. I think Tua will get him the ball. I think they still have Mostert and Myles Gaskin over there, but I think he's going to be involved as RB. So he could be the RB2, RB3. We got Damian Harris, James Cook. So we got options at running back. Then wide receiver. This is where you take a gamble to blow everybody away. So we got Justin Jefferson, who's like our hero wide receiver, and then we got the ascending talent and opportunity. We have Gabe Davis, second year. I think he's a second-year guy or third-year guy. Could erupt in that offense. Ton of talent, catches touchdowns. Allen Lazard. I mean, off opportunity alone, Allen Lazard as a wide receiver 3 is very safe. Then George Kittle, top tier tight end. And then on the bench, Jared Goff, who, I mean, I think he kind of sucks, but for fantasy, I could see him just airing it out and getting a ton of points. So strong RB3 or QB3. Then we have MVS, who I think has a good year in Kansas City. Russell Gage, who I wanted myself. So wide receivers deep. We go over to running back to back up these 4 guys. Madison, who they said they might get traded, but Cook goes down. He's a must start. Jamal Williams is a starter, worst case scenario. And then Dontrell Hilliard, who they said he is like the locked-in number 2 over there behind Henry. So I like rostering him just in case Henry's a little old, had the foot injury. And then David Njoku, just in case. I think Brissett will feed him. And, this team is deep, dangerous, and has a ton of upside. Got to give the reigning champ some respect. And that's the bottom line. And that's the... I did his grade, the playoffs. That's the 2022 in-depth power rankings. Like I said, these were really hard. I think a ton of people had great drafts. The league's so deep, so it's like nobody could really have strong, people at every position, plus a bench, because there's only so many guys. But, taking into consideration the talent with how you drafted, how you utilized your late-round picks. If you're doing your research, I could tell the guys that are listening to podcasts doing research are hearing what's going on. I could tell. But I think overall, a ton of people had great drafts. Another great year. I'm excited for the year. And let's get to it. I'm going to wrap this up. All right. Peace.